Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Paranormal Experience. This is our first episode show here on the Horror Room, where we are going to speak to horror authors, and they're going to tell us their true paranormal tales. First, I'd like to introduce my co-host. Since she's a horror author herself. I have Eliza Broadbent. Eliza, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Travis.
Yes. Are you excited?
I'm super excited to hear Edmund's story. I want to make it clear, Travis and I have never heard what he is about to tell us. We have no idea what he's about to say.
No idea. And our guest today is a horror author, and he has a new book out right now. It's called Soul Mirror.
We show that.
Yes. Look at that amazing cover.
I've been getting a lot of help for that cover. Ruth Anna Evans did that cover. Man,
I love Ruth.
She nailed it.
She's awesome.
Yep. Ruth is
she
amazing.
Nailed it. Mm-hmm.
I have my man, Edmund Stone. Edmund, welcome to the Paranormal Experience here at the Horror Room.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, I've been told that you have your own paranormal tale. Tell us a little bit about
it. Well, I actually have a couple. One was like, okay, it's always, and it always is around the house I live in. So the first one was the old house I lived in, and it was right next to a cemetery. And my daughter would always tell me that there was something in her room. Well, I mean, she not only told me, she told the kids that would come over. So they were all freaking out. They always thought that there was some kind of a ghost or an entity in her room. And I would laugh. I was like, well, I'll go look. I'll check it out. Well, I didn't see anything, of course. And so I'm just keep going on. I'm like, there's nothing in there. She's just making things up, just overactive imagination. Because she was my the kid that loved horror, but to watch it or see it scared her to death. But she still loved it. So, anyway, so I sat out and I said, one time I was like, I don't remember what it was like. I was in my office set right next to that room. So I was writing one night really late, and she was at a friend's house or something. And I got to thinking. I said, maybe I'll find out. I'll just go in there and I'll sleep in that room tonight, and I'll look myself to see what's in there. So I go in. Shut the light up. I sat there for a minute, and I'd look around, nothing. And then the strangest thing, I looked in the corner, and there's this really dark column right in the corner next to the door. And I kept looking, and I thought, nah, it's just a shadow. Has to be a shadow. Well, I kept staring at it and thought, wait a minute, did that actually move? And I watched it for a while, and it honestly, I thought it moved, and I sat there and watched it for a pretty good while, and this is just, like I said, this big dark column, and I thought, okay, and I mean, I was getting a little freaked out at that point. I was like, maybe there is something to this, and so I jumped up really quick, and I flipped the light on, nothing, and so I flipped the light back off, and nothing. There was nothing there. So it was just like, for that 1 second, I saw that dark column, and it was there, and it moved, but then that was it. It was over.
Okay,
anytime. What?
Anytime people tell me their kids see something, that's what really freaks me out. When the kids see something.
Yeah, and that house had a lot of strange vibes there. Like I said, I mean, it wasn't a super old house. It was like 1964 when it was built, but it was built like right next to a cemetery. And there was talk that there was a possibility that cemetery might have been moved. So it's like a poltergeist kind of thing, So there's, who knows? We could have been living right on the graves. We wouldn't have known. But I never saw evidence of that. But you never know.
Now, did your daughter ever see any more figures or anything after that?
She did occasionally say she saw that figure again, and at one point she wouldn't even sleep in that room, scared her to death. She just got out of there, and her friends, she would tell them, and they didn't want to sleep there. We have kids come over, and they're like, "I'm not going near that room." They're all scared of it. But that, honestly, that is the only time I ever saw that. Only time. But like I said, that house just had some weird vibes. My wife she saw something one night. She was in sleep, and she swears she saw this. She said there was like some kind of a creature, like it kind of looked like an old man, an old wrinkly man or something. But anyway, it was at the foot of the bed, and she was sitting there, and she thought she was asleep, but she wasn't 100% sure if she was asleep. And it got up and jumped on her chest and pushed her down, and she couldn't get up. She couldn't move, and it just laid there on her chest like she couldn't breathe. And she finally was able to like move, and it was just almost like she did wake up, but she wasn't 100% sure if she was asleep during that. So that was something that she saw. She saw that several times, and she called
And
it
you guys
the
stayed?
I don't know what she. Yeah, she saw it quite a few times.
And you guys
She
stayed
said,
and didn't
Wait,
move out.
"Oh yeah, we stayed. Oh yeah, we stayed. We stayed through all that." And
Fuck
honestly,
that.
it it was like I said, there was some wild stuff going on over there. But she was like, we stayed in the house, we just went on with it, and she didn't see it again for a long time, long time. And then we were at one point where it's like, we were selling the house, and we were going to move to a different house about a couple miles away. And during that time of the move, it got it came back, and it was even worse. And it wouldn't. It's just like she thought that maybe whatever that thing was didn't want us to leave, and it kept trying to hold her there. I never saw it, but she swore that she saw that, and she is sensitive anyway. I mean, she's had lots of ghost sightings over the years. One in an old house she lived in when she was a child. She saw a lady standing in the kitchen doing dishes, and in the middle of the night. And then she went and told her mom the next day, "Oh yeah, the lady was doing the dishes." She goes, "Wait a minute, what are you talking about?" And she told her, and she said, "Yeah, a lady did live here in this house, many years ago. I wasn't sure. She wasn't sure if she died there or not. She may have." But she said, "But my wife has seen things, all the time. I don't always see it, but she's seen things."
No, I can't believe you stayed in that house.
Neither. I was
No,
the hell out of
no,
there.
no. What is the title of that book right now? Fuck that house. Fuck this house. No,
There
fuck
you go.
this house.
But now, other than the one pushing her down on the bed, that there was never any like any ghost that was like trying to harm us or anything other than that one. And that one didn't really harm. It was more just trying to hold her in place, and that's why she thinks that it was trying to keep her there at the house. And it got more frequent as we were trying to sell the house. Kind of like a house gnome or something. I don't know.
Now, as a horror author, after experiencing this,
Hmm.
did this like make you second guess like writing horror? I mean, like, oh shit, this is, or did you even
Oh
think to
no.
yourself like this would be a great story?
Yeah, I've actually thought about that one a few times. But there's another one now. When we moved in this house, she has seen things here. Now I've never seen anything here, but we live right on the Ohio River, and there's all kinds of cryptid stuff goes on in the Ohio River. But she saw the lady in white walk up to the door in the middle of the night and bang on our back door. And now she freaked me out when she told me that. Like, no, I saw it. Yeah, it was there. But you know how the lady in white is supposed to be a precursor to someone dying or something
Yeah.
happening or that kind of thing. Well, her mother passed away the very next year, so she thinks it might be connected. The only time she saw it. So, but we haven't seen anything else other than that here.
See, I would have stopped horror writing after seeing all that shit.
Oh no, it makes me want to write even more.
Um,
Yeah.
That story, yeah, and that story I actually brought up I was at a panel in Louisville last year, and there was a cryptid panel there, and they invited me to be on it after I told the one guy that was doing it. I told him about the story, and he said, "Oh, you got to come on our cryptid panel. You got to check it out." And I went on there, and they were telling me all kinds of cryptid stories about Ohio River monsters and things, and just wild stuff. That I thought, wow, I could definitely do some stories on some of that. So fast forward
That's
to Soul Mirror. It has a whole line in it of a cryptid. So and on the Ohio River and all that. So that's connected. Not it's not 100% cryptid, but there is an element of that in there.
And that book is so cool. And I want to point this out. Like, I love that you wrote from the point of view of a nonverbal autistic girl. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, that actually, the original story that I'd written, I mean, it's pretty much the same story, but originally I'd written it from the point of view of the occupational therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my editor looked at it. Monique Steinman was her name, and she looked at it, and she's like, have you ever thought about changing the point of view? And I thought, well, what do you mean? And she said, to the girl, the little girl. I was like, well, no, I never really thought about it. And she said, I think it would work better that way. And so she was like, it's up to you totally. And I said, give me a few weeks. And I said, I'll get back with you on it. Well, I pulled it up and I wrote like 2 or 3 chapters from that point of view, from Jessica's point of view. And as I wrote it, I thought, man, this works. I like this. I like this so much better. So I just completely started from there. And within 3 weeks, I had it completely rewritten, top to bottom, in Jessica's point of view.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just it was just, I mean, it just flowed. I mean, it was just coming out of me. I was writing day and night. I couldn't stop. And then the story that you see now is that story.
That's really cool. I love when that happens. That's like the best thing ever. That's the best writing, Congratulations on that, Ben. That's amazing.
Thank you. But yeah, it's just like I mean, I've heard people already saying it's the best thing I've ever written. They said this is your best story. This is your top one. So I'm like, well, I like to hear that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. But I worked with children with neurodiverse children for years in the school systems and pediatric therapy, home therapy, everything.
That's
So
amazing.
a lot of experience.
Very cool.
And that's amazing because my nephew I have custody of. He suffers from autism, so I mean that's a cool aspect.
Yeah, my oldest son is autistic. He has mild autism. Yeah, and my other 2 kids have ADHD. I have ADHD, so kind of surrounded by neurodivergence in this house. So
yeah, that's true. I have ADHD as well. I've been diagnosed with that, so I understand the neurodivergent part of it.
Yeah.
When I worked, now this has been years ago, because I've been an occupational therapy assistant for years, and I've worked with a lot of kids, with various forms of developmental disabilities and just everything. And all through that, I got a lot of good experiences from that, and a lot of those kids that I worked with had ADHD as well. I wasn't actually diagnosed until later as an adult. So at the time, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew I had always had hyperactivity issues, couldn't concentrate, that kind of thing. And after working with a lot of those kids, it was kind of like, wow, I know exactly how you feel. I mean, I know exactly what you're dealing with, and I thought it gave me a unique perspective to help them. To find a way to navigate working in an environment that's noisy and hard to concentrate. I came up with lots of solutions and techniques to help them out. The same with kids with autism and sensory integrative disorders, lots of things like that. So I was able to come up with a lot of those things, and those types of especially with the sensory integrative disorders, I was able to put that into the book. Those issues, those things are. I understood it from where kind of. I mean, obviously, I don't have as much of that issue, but I saw what the kids suffered with, and especially the kids who were nonverbal. I worked with them a lot. They were the kind of kids that you couldn't really. I mean, obviously, you couldn't necessarily always communicate with them, but they communicated on with basically the environment. So like certain things you knew, like maybe even a blanket or some kind of a hood or some kind of a pressure would always help to calm the child down if the environment got too wild or too hard for them to focus in. So
very cool. I look forward to reading it.
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. It's like I said, it comes from the heart. That one comes from a place that I really really feel. So that one put me with some that gave me some feels on that one, and that was good. I loved it. I hope I put all that in there.
Awesome.
Now, I do have a question for Eliza and Edwin. You're both writers, and you both suffer from ADHD. How difficult is that to be a writer and be able to pace? I mean, writing on its own is just its own animal to deal with.
Well,
you want to
I hyper-focus. Sure. I hyper-focus when I write. So I don't have a problem with it because that's like what I do. So my problem is actually the opposite. It's like coming back to the world outside because I will start writing and like get lost in it. And it becomes an issue because people are like needing me to do other things. And I'm in front of my computer and I'm like absorbed. And I might not notice the world is burning down around me. So it can be kind of a problem.
Well, I have a similar situation, but what I do if I get up super early, and if I don't, I either have to. I used to work from like I would start writing at 10 o'clock, and I'd be done at 3 o'clock in the morning. But then that got to be just got to be hard, and trying to get up for my day job and do all that. So I changed that around and started getting up super early. But the key is, as long as I have a couple hours, sometimes 2 to 3 hours of actually being able to sit in my office quiet, nothing bothering me, then I can get hyper focused on my writing. But if I don't do that, then there's just too many things and I can't focus at all. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to do about 20 things at once and can't keep up with, can't get one of them finished. And that can be a problem for me right there. But yeah, if I get up and I get in there first thing, what I try to do is like have my work ready. So like when I first wake up, I get my coffee, sit down, boom, there it is, and then I'll get hyper focused. But if I see an email first, then I'm screwed.
That's really interesting because I do literally the same thing. I was a freelance journalist for a long time, and when I did it, I had really small kids, so my only time to write was first thing in the morning. So I had to train myself to get up at like 5, 4. So I wake up usually at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I get up, and as long as I hit it right away, I get that coffee, I sit down, I start writing. And my best time to hyperfocus is like first thing in the morning. If I try to hyperfocus at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's not going to work as well.
Oh,
like I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna get distracted by email. I'm gonna get distracted by blue sky. Like I'm gonna be doing something else. But if it's like 5 in the morning, up to even about like my kids are homeschooled, so I have a lot of luxury to like sit there and just be writing until like usually about like noon or so. I can usually do it till about noon, and once that hits, I'm kind of like, okay, social media time. I got to do promo. I got to do this. That's when I start it starts to fray about then.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, that would be for me too. I go to work. I usually get in by about between 9:30 and 10, somewhere around there, and I'm there till 5:30, and so my time is going to, and I will do things in the evening. Usually, if I'm doing my writing, it's in the morning because that's the best time for me to get it done. But now, if I'm doing like you said, promo, that kind of thing, marketing, whatever, I'll try and do that in the evening. And that seems to work better for me because I can do things like that, and then I can get up and go do something else and come back, and I don't really feel like I have to focus like I do on writing. So it's a little way for me.
Now, Ed, I'm gonna ask you a question completely off topic.
Sure.
Listen, Bigfoot. There's all kinds. I do this. I go off topic. But there's a National Bigfoot Association. There's people who believe in Bigfoot, and I mean, he has all kind of names, skunk ape, and do you think Bigfoot is really a thing?
I think so. I mean, but like I said, I don't know if it's always like what they think. I don't know. I definitely think it's something. Yes, I definitely think there's something out there. Um, the people you're talking about, they've been here before. Across the river from me is what they call Shawnee State Forest, and it's a really thick, deep woods forest over there, and it goes on for miles and miles and miles. So they've been over there because they said that there have been Bigfoot sightings over there. So they've been looking through that forest trying to find evidence. They haven't yet, but they said that there have been sightings and people seeing things, and they think that there's possibility of it. But I don't know that. But I don't see why there couldn't be, because if you ever go in those woods, I mean, they go on. You could get lost in there very easily. And then so who knows what's living back in the middle of there, and we never know about it. They could be underground. There could be a lot of things. So I want to say I've never seen a Bigfoot, but I want to say that I think there could be. They could be skinwalkers. We don't know.
I've always thought that Bigfoot. No, I've always thought that Bigfoot was some big, tall, hairy guy that was walking around. He just took a wash in the pond or something, and somebody say, "Oh my God, it's Bigfoot." I think that Bigfoot was a human being.
My theory, he's interdimensional.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Well, hey, we're getting ready to go to Dark Drafts Festival this weekend. You're going to, right? Yeah, I know you're. But we're going there, and we might see a lot of interdimensional things. I mean, there's ghosts floating around everywhere there, so I'm pretty excited about that part of it.
Hey, I'm bringing my son has ghost hunting equipment. We just got it for him for his birthday. I'm bringing a thermal imaging camera. I'm bringing the EMF reader. He wants me to bring the little cat toys that light up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like you touch the ghost touches the cat toy.
Yeah.
So he wants me to bring them. So I'm cool. Prepared here. I'm ready.
Oh man, he'll probably end up talking John Ward's our ear off, because John, he's into all that. He does the ghost hunting, the paranormal stuff. Yeah, John's a good guy. I like him. That'll be fun. That's gonna be a blast. I can't wait to get into all that.
It's gonna be super fun.
Now, is that in the Carolinas?
No, that's up in Pennsylvania. So
what
that's
part?
that's up in Lancaster, maybe?
Yeah,
Lancaster County.
It's
where are you?
I'm in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up in Mount Joy. Yeah, it's up in Mount Joy. You should come up.
It's this weekend?
It's this weekend. Yeah, it's Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. Might have to put that on my schedule.
Yeah, come on up.
That'd
be fun.
Yeah, you should come up. Yeah, that'd be great.
There's a masquerade ball.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. There's a gothic masquerade ball that night.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be lit.
It is. It's gonna be class. It's gonna be fun.
Well, it's Saturday today, so I mean, this is pre-recorded, but right now it's Saturday. But if you're out there, definitely come out this weekend. And Eliza, Edmund, and probably Travis is going to be there, so definitely want to say hi. Mm-hmm. All right, Edmund, listen, where can everyone find you and your books, man?
Oh gosh, Amazon. That's the easiest place to find me. But I have a website, edmundstonehorror.com, and just all lowercase.com. And all my books are there, my signed books. If you want a signed book from me, you can get it there. I also have a link tree, which is linktree, /edmundstoneauthor.com.
Awesome. Everyone listen down on the link. And down the link, I have the down in the description, I have the link to Edmund's website. Please click on it and check out his books. Eliza, this was fun.
Yeah.
Edmund, this was fun.
This was super fun. Edmund, thank you so much for joining us. This was an absolute blast. We appreciate you.
Sure. I'm glad to be here, and I love. If you want to do something on cryptids, I'm definitely always down with that. I love cryptid stuff. Love it.
We would love to hear it. Love to do it sometime.
Okay.
And this whole entire time, I was talking to Edmund. I was waiting for something to walk past you in the background or something, but nothing. Nothing.
Well, There was a fuzzy creature or two over here. You just didn't see them, but they were trying to get into the picture.
Well, listen, everyone. Listen, if you enjoyed this first episode of Paranormal Experience, please hit that like, comment as well. Listen, I want to hear it put in the comments. Do everyone believe in Bigfoot? I want to hear some of my Bigfoot supporters. Okay? Listen, Edmund, this was a blast having you on, man. Listen, you're more than welcome. Come on anytime, brother.
Okay. I appreciate you having me. It's great.
All right, everyone. Listen, well, thank you for coming to the Paranormal Experience here at the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce. That is my co-host, Eliza Broadbent, and Edmund Stone. We'll see you next time. Take care.